Sorry to start a little late. Okay. First of all, I thank everyone for joining on time. And this is we jointly with MMA we conduct this program every month. As all you know, I think many of you are regular attendees of this program. Thanks for your continuous support. We have today's speaker, Mr T R Sriram, who will talk about the main thing about the safety or 3 M's. All we are aware, man, machine, and materials. And let's hear from him. And to start the program, I request our chapter chairman, Mr. Niile, to give a welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Sendil. Very good evening, fellow foundrymen and members of MMA. It is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to this management program jointly organized by the Institute of Indian Foundrymen, Chennai Chapter, and Madras Management Association. Today's session focuses on safety, a fundamental pillar of every manufacturing process. As we strive for excellence in efficiency and workplace safety, discussions on advancement in this critical domain becomes ever more essential. We are honored to have with us Mr. T R Sriram, Director, Niile Technical Skills and Consultancy Private Limited, who will lead us through today's session. We look forward to an engaging and insightful discussion that will enhance our understanding and implementation of best safety practices. A special word of appreciation to the management of all the participating companies for deputing their foundry professionals to attend this seminar. Your commitment to fostering knowledge and skill development plays a vital role in growth of our industry. This event also marks the 48th program of this tenure and 8th management program jointly organized with MMA, reflecting the collective enthusiasm and dedication of members. So let's have a good opportunity to learn, exchange ideas, and strengthen our industry's future. Wishing you all a very productive and enriching evening. Thank you. To take things forward, may I now invite on stage Mr. K. Hemaprasad, Council Member, IIF Chennai Chapter, to introduce our speaker to the gathering.
All. It's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Sriram TR. He is an electrical engineer having 35 years of experience from a wide spectrum of industries like automotive, home appliances, manufacturing, construction, electronics, textiles, packaging, trading and retail, and hospitality industries. He is one of the director of Niile Technical Skill Consulting Private Limited, Chennai, offering consulting, auditing, and training services. He is specialized in lean manufacturing, process excellence, application of lean tools, supply chain improvements, automation for production, inspection, and packaging. He is having experience in the industries like TVS Electronics Limited, Chennai, Panasonic Home Appliances India Limited, Chennai, Switzer Instruments Limited, Chennai, and Nova Electromagnetic, Chennai. Thank you, sir. Now it's floor is yours.
So very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure meeting you all here. And I thank MMA and I thank Institute of Foundrymen for giving this opportunity. So very quickly we'll glance through the safety aspects. So I'm not going to give a training on safety. You all know it. Probably you are all much senior to me, much experienced. So the backdrop is that in this month, March, on every March 4th, we start celebrating National Day. Probably many companies celebrate as a week-long program, starting from March 4 onwards. At least for next 1 week, they will be celebrating as a safety week or safety month like this. Okay, so it is to basically to highlight the importance of safety. I think you all know the importance of safety. So today I am going to touch a little bit on the industrial aspects of the safety and as well as try to poke you. Are you following this safety on road and at home? Is it okay for you, sir? Yes, training yaar vana kudukalam. Whatever slide I am showing, you all know, you would have seen it 100 times before me. Maybe I had used this slide for at least 40-50 times. But same slide you would have seen 100 times because you are all much more senior to me. But in the safety on road, public place, வீட்லயும் யூஸ் பண்றோமான்றத I want to put a question on you and you think it over, okay, and see that wherever possible we apply all safety thought and keep ourselves safety. Before getting into the subject, why I am trying to emphasize this is that throughout my education, so right from starting from 1st standard to 10th standard, then +1, +2, then you have engineering studies, graduation, post-graduation, I did not read single subject on safety. Have any of you read in your school or college? No. Even on engineering, there is no separate subject called safety today. Hardly it could have been a lesson in one subject. அது கூட இருக்கான்னு தெரியல. So இப்போ எப்படி சேஃப்டி வரும்? So today when we take any new fresh people in the industry, we start giving him an orientation program. I am giving orientation program to companies. Normally it used to be 3 days program, 1 week program, but there are companies who give entire syllabus. It looks like another graduation he has to do when somebody comes into the industry. Everything needs to be taught to people once they come into the industry. Then what is the purpose of studying 15 years, 20 years? Safety, discipline, 5 years, keeping things organized. Everything needs to be taught to people who are coming into the industry after finishing school, after finishing college, graduation, technology, management, everything. That means in the past 20 years, what they are studying. From their 5th year to 22 or 23, people are undergoing some studies. I don't know what they are studying. And they asked me to add so many things into the orientation program. Except history and geography, I add everything. Okay. So we will touch upon few things like, what are all basic elements of safety, what causes safety, and how we need to be, cautious. So some of the basic, causes, reasons for safety related hazards. One is our behavior. Then the work condition in which we work, the condition itself is unsafe. So when I travel in the road, police is asking me to follow traffic rules, wear helmet. But is the road in a good condition? The road is not in a good condition. There are patches, there are holes, there are ups and downs. There are men working, no signboards. Yesterday the night when I traveled, the road was okay. Today morning when I am going there is a work going on. Somebody is digging it, not putting it properly. So my work environment, the place where I am working, where I am doing something, that arrangement itself is not safe enough. Okay. Then you have equipment failures, and there are certain activity what we do, by nature they are dangerous. Okay. And beyond all these things, something happens unexpectedly. Little bit we will dwell upon all this, little in depth. In between, whenever you have something, please stop me. So human behavior. One is lack of knowledge. Why lack of knowledge comes? Because I have not been taught anything about safety right from my school days. Suddenly when I come into the industry, when I see big machines, you tell me so many things. You want me to operate the machine, but you tell me don't touch here, don't do that, don't put this, don't pull this and all. So lack of knowledge about safety related things. We use so many electrical, electronic gadgets, but are we all aware of the safety aspects of that? For example, I use this device. What is the safety hazard in this? Radiation. So how many of you asked about the radiation level when you bought a phone? You asked about front camera, back camera, RAM, processor, battery capacity, everything. But did you ask what is the radiation? Okay. At least from next time will you ask. But there are safety norms. It has got some safety norms. Government is imposing. Based on that, they give approval. Okay. So everything we use, any product we use, a normal switch and socket, 5 amps, 230 volts, 5 amps, but it has to undergo 1 kilowatt for 30 seconds or 2 kilowatt. There is a safety rule. It has to get paused. But how many of us know that there are some safety criteria? This particular product meets that. Based on that, some approval is given. It is safe for use. This needs to be taught. This needs to be discussed in the house. Since we are in the industry, we come across so many technical standards, so many training programs, we gain this knowledge. But இதை வீட்டில் போய் நம்ம ஒய்ஃபுக்கு, பசங்களுக்கு, பேரண்ட்ஸுக்கு யாருக்காவது சொல்லி தருமா? உட்கார வச்சு கிளாஸ் எடுக்க முடியாது. பட் அப்பப்போ ஒரு ஸ்மால் டிட் பிட்ஸ் ஒரு டோஸ் கொடுக்கலாம்ல, இந்த மாதிரி இதை ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. You are switching off something in your remote, but the main switch is not yet switched off. Please switch it off. அது சொல்லலாம் இல்லையா? Okay. And most of the machines or all the machines come with safety features. Instead of following the safety features, we learn how to bypass the safety. எல்லா மிஷின்லையும் ஒரு சேஃப்டி டோர் இருக்கும். When the door is locked, there is a limit switch which is operated, then the machine works. So during the night shift, our workmen will keep the door open. அது ஏதோ ஒன்று எடுத்து அந்த சேஃப்டி இதில் வந்து லிமிட் ஸ்விட்சில் இன்சர்ட் பண்ணி he will ensure that the switch is in a locked position, engaged position. So people know how to bypass. கரெக்டா? how to be சேஃப்டின்றதை கற்றுக்கிறது விடுவோம். இந்த சேஃப்டி இருந்தால் அது எப்படி பைபாஸ் பண்ணலான்றதை ஃபஸ்ட்டு கற்றுக்குறோம் இல்லையா? தட் இஸ் தி வே வி ஹவ் பீன் டாட். இப்போ ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் கற்றுக்கணுன்னா அந்த லாங்குவேஜில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு எதை கற்றுப்போம்? அதில் உள்ள ஸ்லாங் என்ன, அதில் உள்ள பேட் வேர்ட்ஸ் என்ன, அந்த லாங்குவேஜில் எப்படி திட்டணும். தட் இஸ் ஹவ் நோ தி ஓரியன்டேஷன் எப்படி இருக்குன்னா நம்ம எல்லாம் டிஎன்ஏலேயே இருக்குது. அப்போ இந்த மிஷினில் எப்படி ஒர்க் பண்ணணும், இந்த ஏரியாவில் எப்படி ஒர்க் பண்ணணுன்றோட இந்த மிஷினில் எது சேஃப்டி, எதை பைபாஸ் பண்ணால் எனக்கு இன்னும் ஒர்க் பண்ண ஈஸியாக இருக்கும், இன்னும் ஒரு 5 செகண்ட் சைக்கிள் டைமில் குறையுமா. We are learning it. In today, in the technical standard, if you take ISO 45000 or any other standard, not only physical reasons, even the social and psychological. Social na inga podla. There are some social angle, there are some psychological aspects that are also added as part of safety. Social na non-discriminatory, calm and working atmosphere. இதெல்லாம் கூட ஸ்டாண்டர்டில் ஆட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அண்டர் சேஃப்டி ஸ்டாண்டர்டில் அந்த ரீசன்ஸ் இருக்குது. I have not added here. And even psychological reasons like harassment, bullying, blackmailing. இதை கூட ஒரு சேஃப்டி ஹசார்டாக போட்டிருக்காங்க. When we go and audit some institute, some organization, we need to check, is there any harassment happening? Is there any bullying happening? If that is happening, that should be considered as a safety hazard. You should record it in our audit report. Unsafe working condition. So நாங்கள் சேஃப்டி ஆடிட் போகும்போது நிறைய கம்பெனியில் பார்க்குறோம். மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி டைம் we could see that the condition is unsafe. Maybe in a well established company, reputed company, there are very good safety aspects are implemented, people are following. I have seen companies like Toyota, they give very high importance to safety. In fact, the company's slogan says safety first, quality second, production third. I went to Toyota Kirloskar Textile Machinery and Toyota Engines Factory in Bangalore. Outside the company and inside the company, everywhere you can see a signboard which says safety first, quality second, production third. So that gives the reminder to all their workmen that always safety is followed. So I watched how employees behave in that company. Within the company, whenever they cross between shops, inside the shop floor, when they cross the gangways, they used to do like this. Okay, left, right and straight they have to see. When no other vehicle, men or anybody is coming, then they will cross. The same man, when he is coming out of the gate after finishing his shift, ஹெல்மெட் போடுறதில்ல. பைக்கை ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி அவன் போகிற வேகத்தில் அவன் எங்கே போவான்னு எனக்கே தெரியல. அவன் வீட்டுக்கு போவானா வேறு எங்கேயும் போவானான்னு தெரியல. So that behavior changes. But inside the factory, there is a system implemented, so he has been controlled by the system. So if I ride my vehicle or two-wheeler or car inside Chennai road, I will follow a method of traffic rules. If I go to Singapore, I will follow different method. ஏன்னா இங்கே பண்ணுற மாதிரி அங்கே பண்ண முடியாது. So there is a system in place which controls me, which controls my behavior. So if there is a proper environment, work environment, proper systems are in place, it will help people to behave in a safe manner. So sometimes employees don't know the better way of doing things. They are not trained, or fresh out of college, still he is playful. கொஞ்சம் அந்த எக்ஸைட்மெண்ட்லாம் இருக்கும். In the industry I have seen people doing pull up and push up by hanging on the machine. கையில் காலில் அடிபட்டதுக்கப்புறம் தான் he realizing it is dangerous. Number of times when we tell him, he is not taking it seriously. So in one industry, one person early in the morning he got his 4 fingers cut. Around 6 o'clock in the morning, he got his fingers cut and he was taken to hospital. By the time all the 4 fingers got cut, root cause enna, he was doing pull-up. He has finished night shift and he was waiting for the morning shift bus. And 6 மணிக்கு bus வந்துட்டு drop பண்ணிட்டு 6:30 it will leave. So between 5:30 to 6 o'clock, he was doing push-up by hanging on the conveyor. Shift to conveyor start பண்ண உடனே conveyor belt started cutting his arms, cutting some of few of his fingers. Night shift முடிச்சிட்டு ஒழுங்கா வீட்டுக்கு போயிருக்கலாம். So this happens because of the behavior. Then there are physical conditions. Wet floor, slippery, oil leakage, then improper lighting conditions, your floor is not in a good condition. For all these things, we have a general IQ which says this is good or bad, or even there are inspector of standard rules are available. What is the minimum illumination required for every place, working place, non-working place, gangways, okay. Then proper ventilation, proper lighting, these are all already given in the inspector of factories requirement. Even for their own employees.
Apart from the common public. However, if you look at it, many parts of the Chennai, welding happens in the midst of the road. Who does welding, no proper safety.
Yeah.
And posting this to the passerby as well. Like those sort of actions, behavior comes in here.
No, this is purely within the industry. Maybe I can quote public example just to give an awareness to you, but I am not here to comment on the public or government's responsibility. But அந்த சேஃப்டின்ற அவேர்னஸே இல்லை, எல்லாருக்கும் இல்லை, எனக்கும் இல்லை, ப்ராபப்ளி உங்களுக்கும் மோஸ்ட்லி இருக்காது. ஏன்னா இட் இஸ் டேக்கன் ஃபார் கிராண்டட். இப்போது உங்கள் வீட்டிலேருந்து நீங்கள் கிளம்பும்போது எவ்ரி டைம் வென் யூ கோ டு மார்க்கெட், வென் யூ டேக் யுவர் 2-wheeler, ஆர் யூ வேரிங் ஹெல்மெட்? கொஸ்டின் யுவர் செல்ஃப். இஃப் அட் ஆல் யூ ஆர் வேரிங் ஹெல்மெட், ஆர் யூ புட்டிங் த ஸ்ட்ராப்? அல்லது உங்கள் சன் ஆர் டாட்டர் வெஹிக்கிள் எடுத்துகிட்டு போகும்போது ஹெல்மெட் போட்டுக்கோ, ஸ்லோவாக போங்க, ஃபாலோ ஆல் த டிராஃபிக் ரூல்ஸ் சொல்ல முடியுமானா சொல்ல முடியாது. பட் அந்த சேஃப்டி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அப்படின்ற தாட் இல்லை. ஏன்னா இது சம்வேர் தே ஷுட் ஹவ் டாட் ஃப்ரம் தி ஸ்கூல் ஆர் காலேஜ். ஸோ அது அப்போது மைண்டில் நல்லா ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆகிருக்கும். See, when you start practicing writing with 2 lines and 4 lines note during your early stages, yeah, cursive writing, joint letters, lifelong that is continued. And for all those people who have practiced, they will have very good handwriting even today. Whether you become 60, 70, as long as you can write, you will write very neatly. But அந்த சின்ன வயசில் ஃபஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்டோ எல்கேஜி யூகேஜி படிக்கும்போது கர்சிவ் ரைட்டிங் எழுதி ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணலன்னா யுவர் ஹேண்ட் ரைட்டிங் வில் பி லைக் அ டாக்டர். Whether you are MBBS or not, you will write like a doctor. The man who is correcting your answer paper will have tough time. So certain things have to be put in practice at the early stage. So இப்போ இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு என்ன சொல்கிறோம், அட்லீஸ்ட் கிவ் திஸ் ஓரியன்டேஷன் டு த பீப்புள் வென் தே என்டர் யுவர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி. எடுத்த உடனே ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸில் ஜாபில் விட்டுறாதீங்க, ஒரு 1 வீக்காவது ஓரியன்டேஷன் கொடுங்க, சேஞ்ச் இஸ் மைண்ட் செட். அப்போ என்ன கேட்பாங்க, சார் 1 வீக் நான் கொடுத்தா எனக்கு அந்த கொடுக்குற 1 மாதம் சேலரி போகுமேன்னு கேட்பாங்க. இந்த 1 மாதம் சேலரி போகுமா, 1 வாரம் சேலரி போகுமான்ற தாட்டை விடுவோம். He should not get into any trouble. He should not create any damage, create any loss to the materials or machinery. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட். ஸோ ஃபேக்ட்ரியோட டிசைன் அண்ட் லே அவுட்டில் the many factory aspects can be inbuilt and there are design aspects. So when we make an industrial layout, earlier there was a subject called industrial engineering. Maybe some of you would have been an industrial engineer here. Today that subject is not there, that course is not there. It is all over, somewhere around 1980 or 85. After the advent of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil, electrical, electronics and communication, industrial engineering subject கிடையாது. I don't know if any other college is still offering. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு எந்த காலேஜிலுமே கிடையாது. So how people will know about factory layout, design, construction, machinery and all? Only in MNC companies or some of the big OEMs we could see that the factory is having a proper layout, proper spacing, everything. For a small scale industry la பண்ணவே முடியாது, because he buys one plot 2400 square feet, ஒரு machine, ரெண்டு machine, in 10 years he grows, wherever there is a gap he fills it with a machine. No layout is followed. So அந்த factory உள்ள போனீங்கன்னா நடக்க முடியாது, material move பண்ண முடியாது. Everywhere you will see burr, everywhere you will see dirt and smoke. Okay, leave the very small industry, but even well organized companies, okay, at one point of time they forget about this. They don't give importance to this. So by design, okay, so the length, width and height of the company, little bit on ventilation, allowing sunlight, giving proper gangway for movement of men and materials. Forklift move ஆகணும், உங்கள் ஜாப் எடுத்துட்டு forklift move ஆகணும், there should be some turning radius. Then where your store will be located, how the incoming material will come, how your WIP or FG will be moved. So இதுக்கெல்லாம் proper spacing. Sometimes you have EOT cranes moving. And in most of the companies, the EOT cranes are overloaded. If it is 100 ton capacity, they will lift 120 tons. நீங்கள் போய் கொஷின் நாங்கள் ஆடிட்டில் கேட்கணும்னு சொல்லலாம், சார் அதான் டிசைன் பண்ணும்போதே ஃபேக்டர் ஆஃப் சேஃப்டி இருக்கும் சார். யார் இவருடைய ஆன்சர்? சார் 100 டன் போட்டிருக்கு அப்படின்னா தென் தெர் வில் பி டூ ஆன்சர். ஹி வில் சே இட் இஸ் 120 டன் கிரேன் தான் வாங்கினோம், நாங்கள் தான் 100 டன் போட்டிருக்கோம், ஏன்னா எங்கள் ஆளுங்க தூக்கிடுவாங்க. ஒரு ஆன்சர். ஓகே. ஆர் தி ஓனர் சேஸ், சார் அது எங்கள் இன்ஜினியர் நாங்கள் தெரிஞ்சு சொல்லி நாங்கள் நிறைய ஃபேக்டர் ஆஃப் சேஃப்டி வச்சுருக்கோம் சார், 100 டன்னாக இருந்தால் கூட 150 தூக்கும், நாங்கள் 150 தூக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவார். 150 இட் லிஃப்ட், பிகாஸ் தெர் இஸ் a பாக்ஸ் கர்டர். அந்த பாக்ஸ் கர்டருக்கு எவ்வளோ டென்சைல் ஸ்ட்ரென்த் இருக்கோ அது வரைக்கும் தூக்கும். என்றைக்கோ ஒரு நாள் அந்த ஸ்ட்ரென்த்து போகும். That day it will collapse. Or every time when it is taking more load and traveling here and there, then it is passing a stress on your structure. இப்போ எந்த இடத்துல ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் ரொம்ப வீக்காக இருந்தோ அந்த இடத்துல it will collapse. But industrially you can see how many times crane collapse has happened. We don't know when it will happen, but இதெல்லாம் ரெகுலர் bypass நடக்குது, bypassing all the safety norms. When they lift any weight, they won't put the latch, they won't put the lock, proper sling use பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. So these are all some of the area where you need to be very strict with your people. Okay. So I will show you a picture. Sir, இந்த light off பண்ண முடியுமா? இல்லைன்னா ஸ்க்ரீன் தெரியாது. இது ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க சார், வேண்டாம். It's okay. Sir, you are able to see this? Sir, you voice கேட்டால் போதும் சார், என்னையே பார்த்தா போர் அடிக்கும் சார். As long as they see the, is it okay sir? Are you able to see this? Now by seeing this factory, can you just give a small comment how good it is or how bad it is? சார் ஒரு நிமிஷம் மட்டும். வீடியோ எடுத்துருக்கீங்களா நீங்கள்? ஓகே ஓகே, ரைட். Do you think it has got a good layout?
Some extent is okay. A good passage is there, but there are a lot of
Yeah, there are a lot of machineries, but the factory has got, maybe you are not able to see the picture clearly, but it has got a good layout. All things are within the border line, neatly arranged, and there are different machines. And even on the pillars you can see there is a color marking, blue and red marking, so which says the safety limits. What are all the jobs, what is the safe zone, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, like this we used to classify. Okay, so like this, by layout you can bring a lot of safety related controls and discipline to the people. So all the material have to be kept within the border line, gangway should be always clear and neat. Some of the work should not be done beyond that height, so that height is marked with a
blue and red.
You can see blue zone, red zone, and then white. You have to train your people what is the safety to be followed within the blue zone, which are all the jobs can be lifted beyond the blue or red zone, something like this, inside your factory. When you don't do proper preventive maintenance, plant maintenance, there is bound to be a failure of equipment. Okay. Equipment fail due to their age, because of the loading, because of continuous operation, or there is no proper maintenance. So when you do plant maintenance, most of the time failures don't happen, or you detect at an early stage. So this is an image when we do a thermal imaging of one of the electrical circuit. We could see that out of 4 or 5 circuits, 2 circuits are overloaded. Out of 2, one is very much overloaded. You can see that, white spot. So when you do a thermal imaging, it says that particular zone has got 70-80 degree temperature or something, which may lead to a spark or melting or something. But idallam daily paakranga paakradilla. Because whenever you have a new equipment, you keep taking the tappings, existing line lende tapping eduthu. Same thing we do in our house. You have one socket, you put one adapter, and you start taking multiple outputs from that. Whereas when you did the initial wiring for that, it is a 5 amp socket, ஒரே 1 square mm wire தான் போட்டிருப்போம், 1 or 1.5 square mm wire போட்டிருப்போம். இந்தியாவில் மட்டும்தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். You go to any other country, that 1.5 square mm is not used. Minimum 2 square mm they use for even 5 amps. But நம்ம 5 amps 1.5 square mm wire போடுறோம். கொஞ்ச நாள் பொறுத்து அதுலேயே எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஒரு அடாப்டர் போட்டு 4 plug 8 plug 10 சார்ஜர் பண்ணுறோமா இல்லையா? So when it happens throughout the day, so that particular socket gets fully overloaded, then that wire starts heating up. So these are all unknowingly we do.
The earlier slide was mentioned as unsafe working. What is that? It's written as unsafe working.
No, it is a continuation of the same title.
But it is a good layout.
No, I was discussing about unsafe working condition. So I used to ask the observers to find what is unsafe here or what is abnormal here. Okay. Otherwise this layout is a good layout. Similarly, whenever you lift any load using your crane, this is just to show you, when you lift 1 ton load, normally when you follow this kind of swing, the load tension on your sling is minimum. The moment this angle crosses beyond 90 degree, the same one load, 1 ton which is lifted, because this angle is less, the tension on the sling increases. So either the rope will get cut, either the hook will break, then sometimes people won't put the lock போடுறதில்லை, the end I bolt போடும்போது ஃபுல்லாக அதை வந்து டைட்டன் பண்ணுறதில்லை, just ஒரு one thread தான் engage ஆகும். These are the mistakes our people do regularly. Job lift பண்ணி குழந்தையும் போகும்போது either that declamp will disengage or on the sling cut ஆகும். அதை ஒரு சேஃப்டி இன்ஸ்பெக்டர் பார்க்கணும். கம்பெனியில் சேஃப்டி ஆஃபீஸர் இருந்தால் அவருடைய வேலை இதெல்லாம் செக் பண்ணணும், ஒயர் ரோப்ஸ் எல்லாம் செக் பண்ணணும். The solution is, please try to strengthen your preventive maintenance within the industry. By nature, there are some dangerous process which cannot be avoided. People work in chemical companies. People use a lot of gases, toxic gases. Think about people who are building this wind turbine, transporting it, installing it. One blade itself is 70-80 feet long. ஒரு ட்ரெய்லர் 40 feet ட்ரெய்லருக்கு அப்புறம் வெளியே இன்னொரு ட்ரெய்லர்லேருந்து வெளியே நீட்டிட்டு இருக்கும். It has to be transported. அது எங்கேயோ ஒரு ஃபாரஸ்ட்டில் ஒரு ஹில் மேலே மலை மேலே கொண்டு போய் he will be installing. That tower will be of 150 feet height. Imagine 150 feet height he is doing erection or he is doing some service activity. அது மேலே நிற்கும்போது இருக்கிற அந்த wind force பார்க்கணும். நான் நின்று வேகமாக காற்றடிச்சா நான் பறந்துடுவேன். அவ்வளோ wind force இருக்கும். So it takes several weeks for them to complete the installation. மோஸ்ட் ப்ராப்ளி காத்தால் ஏறினா ஈவினிங் வரைக்கும் அவன் மேலேயே சாப்பிட்டு மேலேயே படுத்துருப்பான். ஹி cannot come down. So by nature there are some certain activities are by nature they are dangerous. Appo there are lot of care should be taken. For a factory oda inside when somebody is working, we have lot of supervision. You have CCTV camera, you have supervisors, you have procedure. Field la poi work பண்ணும்போது யார் பார்க்கறது? Think many times people when they clean sump, many times people die because it is a confined space, not properly ventilated. And the procedure along confined space procedure follow pandradilla. Just like that they enter into a sump or a septic tank to clean it, so they get attacked by the poisonous gas. Within 5 minutes he will be finished. Very rarely such incidents will come in the newspaper, but it happens every day. It happens in the industry, it happens in the residential area. 1 out of 100 alone will come in a newspaper. And quickly, can you tell me what are all the dangers, hazards available with electrical products? You can quote industrial example or even domestic example. Electrical shock.
Fire. Socket melters.
Okay. Overloading the electrical circuits. Shocks. Improper insulation. Good. Either underrated electrical products or you overload it. Okay. என்னெல்லாம் electrical precautions நம்ம வச்சுக்கலாம்? Consider your home and give me some example. What are the safety devices you can have inside your house?
ELCV.
MCB.
And a good earthing.
Good earthing. So earth is a basic electrical safety. இது மேல வேற என்ன இருக்கு? Fuse. Good. ஸோ நம்ம வீடு கட்டும்போது புது வீடு வாங்கும்போது எர்த் ராட் போடுறோம் இல்லையா? எவ்வளோ நாள் அந்த ராட் இருக்கும்? எவ்வளோ நாள்? வாட் இஸ் த லைஃப் ஆஃப் தட் ராட்?
Yearly once you have to do the maintenance of it.
அந்த ராட் எவ்வளோ நாள் இருக்கும்? Some 6 feet long rod you are putting, you are burying. மேலே ஒரு சேம்பர்லாம் கட்டுறோம், மேலே ஒரு 1 feet இருக்கும். 5 feet goes under the earth.
Minimum
அந்த 5 feet எவ்வளோ இருக்கும்?
5 years.
ஒரு 5 years அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கும்? ஓகே, அது ஃபுல்லி கவர்ட் ஆகும், ஒன்றுமே இருக்காது. அந்த சேம்பரில் இருக்கிறது மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ ஹவு மெனி ஆஃப் யூ ஹவ் ரீப்ளேஸ் யுவர் எர்த் ராட்? யூ ஹவ் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டட் அ ஹவுஸ் பிஃபோர் 20 years, 30 years. ஸோ எர்த் கனெக்ஷன் தான் இருக்குமே தவிர இட் இஸ் நாட் அ ப்ராப்பர் எர்த் கனெக்ஷன். ஸோ அப்போ ஆல் த பீப்புள் அண்டர் தி ஹவுஸ் ஆர் அண்டர் பிக் ரிஸ்க். மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி டைம் லேடிஸ் இன் த கிச்சன் ஆப்ரேட் வித் வெட் ஹேண்ட்ஸ். மிக்ஸி போடும்போது, கிரைண்டர் போடும்போது, லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணும்போது, வாஷிங் மிஷின் போடும்போது நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம் எர்த்துக்கு ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் இருக்குன்னு. ஸோ இட் இஸ் நாட் வேலிட். அட்லீஸ்ட் நீங்கள் அதை அடிக்கடி செக் பண்ணணும். சேம் திங் யூ டூ இட் வேர் இன் யுவர் கம்பெனி யூ ஆர் டூயிங் இட். ஒரு எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் இன்ஜினியர் வந்து எல்லா எர்த்தும் செக் பண்ணுறீங்க. ராட் போச்சுன்னா மாற்றுறீங்க, எர்த் வேல்யூ செக் பண்ணுறீங்க. பண்ணுறோமா? வி ஆர் டூயிங் இட் இன் தி இண்டஸ்ட்ரி, பட் ஆர் வி டூயிங் இட் அட் ஹோம்? So you see, these are all the safety devices. You have fuse, you have MCB, you have ELCB, you have ROCB. There are a lot of new devices. Lighting arrestor, then earth rods, electrical mats. So first thing is, please check your earth rod. யாரான ஒரு எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் இன்ஜினியர் யாராவது கூப்பிட்டு மெக்கர் வச்சு செக் பண்ணால் எர்த் வேல்யூ வருதா எவ்வளோன்னு தெரியும். அட்லீஸ்ட் 5 years 10 years ஆனதுன்னா அது கண்டிப்பாக போயிருக்கும், ஃபுல்லாக கரோடாக இருக்கும். And we are close to seashore, salty water, brackish water இருக்கும். Very quickly it will go. Sir, as per rules பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு 7 ohms கம்மியாக இருக்கும் or 5 ohms இருக்கும். அதுக்கு மேலே இருந்ததுன்னா then it will not be safe. பட் உங்களுக்கு ராட் இல்லைன்னா எதுவுமே வராது. ஸோ எப்படி தான் அந்த ராட் வந்து ஒரு 5 years to 10 years கூட ஃபுல்லாக கரோட் ஆகி போயிடும். ஸோ இட் இஸ் நாட் அ பிக் காஸ்ட். ஸோ மெயின்டெனன்ஸும் ஒரு பட்ஜெட் வச்சா அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒன்ஸ் இன் 10 years பழைய எர்த் ராட் அப்போச்சோ எடுத்துட்டு புது ராட் போட்டுருங்க. யூ ஆர் சேஃப் ஃபார் அட்லீஸ்ட் நெக்ஸ்ட் 10 years. யூனோ வீடு கட்டின ஃபஸ்ட்டு இப்போ 10 yearsல எவ்வளோ லைஃப் வந்திருக்கு வரலன்னு தெரியும். அண்ட் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் வாட்டர் டேபிள். சில இடத்துல அது வாட்டர் டேபிள் இஸ் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் அட் தி கிரவுண்ட் லெவல், கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் சொல்கிறேன். ஒரு 2 அடி 3 அடி போகும்போது வெட்னஸ் இருக்கும். மோர் வெட்னஸ் கரோஷன் வில் பி ஹையர். சில இடத்துல 100 அடி 200 அடி கீழே போனாலும் தண்ணியாக இருக்கும். ஸோ யுவர் சாயில் வில் பி ட்ரை. ட்ரையாக இருக்கிற இடத்துல லைஃப் கொஞ்சம் கூட வரும். ஸோ ஒரு 10 இயர்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் வந்து உங்கள் ராடை எடுத்து பார்க்குறீங்க, மோர் ஆர்லெஸ் நல்ல கண்டிஷனில் இருக்குன்னா இந்த தடவை மாற்றிடுங்க. அட்லீஸ்ட் நெக்ஸ்ட் 10 இயர்ஸ் யூ ஆர் குவைட் அஷ்யூர்ட் தட் யுவர் எர்த் ராட் வில் பி ஆஃப் குட் கண்டிஷன். இல்லை 10 இயர்ஸ் நான் எடுத்து பார்க்கும்போது எர்த் ராடே இல்லை, ஃபுல்லாக கரோட் ஆகி போச்சுன்னா யூ ஆர் வெரி ஷுர். இந்த தடவை மாற்றுங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் அட்லீஸ்ட் டேக் இட் ஆஃப்டர் 5 இயர்ஸ். If you are getting a good earth value, continue. Maybe you will have to spend 1,000-2,000 rupees, bring an electrical engineer with mega, let him check. Yesterday you all saw earthquake happening in Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, Hong Kong. Okay, even we felt it in Delhi, even in India we felt it. Okay. Fortunately, we are in a safe seismic zone. Earthquake is only a news to us. We never realize. Okay. Thank God. Sir?
You are realized in Gujarat.
No, I am telling Chennai.
15 years back.
That Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, UP.
You are realized. You are there that time.
Oh, you are there.
Experience, they experienced the...
Too much experience.
Oh.
15 days there, here and there.
So even after the earthquake, the tremors, keep coming. But it's
And Assam, daily.
difficult, yeah.
Assam, you will get once in 5 days, 10 days. But not there, it is probably
Okay. The magnitude will be very less.
very, very less. But you will see the bathroom and the toilet also from that. It is jumping like this.
Mildly tremors.
But you will be able to find out that because you have seen that booth,
Yes.
that time. But you will be able to realize in Assam, they are people only.
Good, sir. Good. So again, when we implement a safety standard in our company, we have to identify potential safety risk or potential emergency situations, and we have to have emergency reaction plan, emergency response plan. Although we have to consider fire, shock, earthquake, flooding, rain, explosion. What can naturally happen? Similarly, what are all the other hazardous devices you have inside your company, like boiler? So either consider only there used to be an emergency response plan. So even though we have so many situations, control systems, certain things happen beyond our control. That is okay. At least whatever is within our control, can we have a proper system, training, awareness, and try to be safe. Okay. And for safety compliance, there are so many rules. I am giving some of the majorly adopted rules within the industry. One is your inspector of factory rules. And there is a IS standard 14489 we use for conducting safety audit in various companies. And there is a safety standard, ISO standard. Many companies get certified for ISO 45001. Earlier it was called ISO 18001. When the last revision came in 2018, from 18001 they changed it to 45001. Then you have Indian Boiler Act, Indian Electrical Act, Explosive Act, Hazardous Material Handling Act. There are so many acts and rules applicable. At least 150 to 160 acts, rules are available with respect to safety and little bit on the environment. Okay. And we also use a lot of personal protective equipments because after having systems, controls, still there are some dangerous operations or hazardous process for which people are exposed. Somebody has to stand near the machine and work for 8 hours continuously. Forging hammer, foundry, furnace, boiler. So people have to work continuously and they are exposed to the hazard. So in order to protect them, protect their safety as well as health, we supplement them with the PPE. PPE is not a direct solution. So adapting a PPE for safety should be the last option. So in the industry standard they say your hierarchy of applying safety standard is first eliminate the hazard, avoid the risky process, risky material, risky machine. Then you replace it with something which is less hazardous. then bring in some engineering control, bring some administration control. The last option is exposing people to the hazardous work and ensure their safety by following some PPEs. When you buy PPE, the standard says PPE should be of a good quality. It should be approved by certain authority, either Indian or something like a BIS standard or something. And the PPE quality should be approved by the safety committee within the company. Every company is supposed to have a safety committee. This safety committee is supposed to approve the quality of the PPE. Workmen have to be part of the safety committee. Workers representative have to be part of the safety committee. Whenever you select or change or adapt a new PPE, it has to be approved. And PPE issue, replacement should be controlled properly, it should be documented. So when we do ISO 45000 audit, PPE usage application is also audited. And you all know industry, there is a classification. We have near miss incidents, we have first aid cases, minor injury, major injury and fatal accidents. Why this classification we are doing? Any accident happening in the industry, it is not just like that it is happening. It is like cancer. Like cancer, many people get detected for cancer. Stage 3, stage 4. Most of the time stage 4. By the time it was detected stage 4, within few days or few months, that person collapses. But stage 4 cancer, எப்படி நேத்து வரைக்கும் இல்லை இன்னைக்கு வந்திருக்குமா இல்லையா? If you are detected for cancer and when they say stage 4, will you reach stage 4 suddenly? போன மாதம் இல்லை, last week இல்லை, I was all right, I was playing badminton. இன்னைக்கு மார்னிங் வரும்போது I had some problem. When I went to the doctor, he had some suspicion, ஒரு biopsy எடுத்தாரு, டெஸ்ட் பண்ணாரு, கேன்சர்னாரு. So the process would have started in the last 10 years or at least 5 years. It would have given you a lot of symptoms. All the symptoms are ignored. So you treat it with the crocin, you treat it with the Dolo 650, you apply some ointment, you think it is gas trouble. Or somebody says, ஒரு soda சாப்பிட்டா சரியாயிடும். Some people mix soda with something else and then take, they say, after taking this I am all right. So அது ஸ்டேஜ் 4 வர அன்றைக்கி தான் தெரியும் இது இவ்வளோ நாள் பண்ணதெல்லாம் கரெக்டாக இல்லையான்னு. ஸோ when a fatal accident happen, it doesn't happen just like that. There are so many warnings. So that is why in industry we say, note down all your near miss incidents. Near missனா என்ன எல்லாருக்கும் வந்து create awareness, start recording, discuss in the safety committee, find out some root causes, take corrective actions. So இதெல்லாம் early warnings. First aid case, minor injury. அது வந்து டிசைன்லேயே ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கா, ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸில் ப்ராப்ளமா, எம்ப்ளாயீஸ் ஆர் நாட் ஹேவிங் அவேர்னஸ், there is no enough safety procedure or system, everything will get exposed when you do an analysis. Similarly, there is a Henrich theory, which is like a thumb rule. Okay, so if at all an incident is happening, before that incident, at least there should be some, if for every one incident there should be some 30 minor injuries. For every minor injury, before that, there are some 300 near miss incidents. Before every one near miss incident, there should be 3000 unsafe act, unsafe behavior, all these things will be there. So it's a thumb rule. It is not that every incident should have the same pattern, but it's a rule. Can I move? So what we can do? So do some safety related analysis. There are so many tools. Whatever is the tool you know very well, you can start applying the tool job safety analysis. HIRA study, hazard identification and risk analysis. Then monitoring all these unsafe act, unsafe conditions. Then everything should be discussed through the safety committee. Do some regular audit. If you have a safety department, ask them to do some audit, make some findings, send pictures, videos, take some action immediately, deal it very strictly with the people, bring that safety culture within the company. Finally, I am coming to home safety. So you have to tell me what are all the hazardous things available at home. LPG?
Heater, water heater.
Immersion heater. Immersion heater, good.
Iron box.
So, we have all safety, all electrical appliances. Generally, by nature they have a potential risk. But now we have safe handle to that extent we are safeguarded. But once you are little careless, it can put you into trouble. So what are they?
What is wet floor?
Wet floor. Wet floor, your LPG cylinder, then?
Yes, sir.
Again, I am very confident. Now I am because you are not considering there is a potential risk.
Using the knife and all. That's what
Knife.
I'm getting.
Good.
Yes. Floor.
Okay.
Floor.
First one is called,
Pressure cooker.
in industry I call it as a boiler. Same thing, high temperature, high pressure, steam. And it has got 3 safety devices inbuilt. What are the safety devices? There is a safety, there is a weight.
Vent wall.
There is a safety wall. One more?
Gas.
Or gasket release system. But in the safety system, your wife, daughter, or in case you are cooking, as a person you are cooking, are you aware of this? Is it correct maintain, correct monitor, daily check? At least on the safety wall, open or blockage. So better to avoid this. India sugar is one reason. Before 1980, we never heard the history of sugar. I had rarely seen it in a cinema. Chakra Gandhi, I thought those people will be, their body will be sweet mentioned. Very rich people, cinema, they look very beautiful and they say sugar. So I think only rich people will have, they will eat lot of sugar, they will also be tasting sweetly, as you mentioned. But after the advent of pressure cooker, you don't remove the starch content. So if you are taking 100 grams of rice per meals, 50 grams of starch is removed by draining the kanji. Now the drain 100 grams to 50 grams drain, I put only 50 grams of starch inside my stomach. And then I do playing, I do walking, I do cycling. If 100 grams starch, no cycling, no walking, no physical exercise, and your body is overloaded. And you consume only 25 grams of sugar in a day. Next day, another 100 grams, or next meals, either next day or next meals. So you are doing a lot of injustice to your health. So first thing is remove the pressure cooker. That you will have to have a safety committee meeting. Council members along cooking discuss but the moment you remove this, one is you remove the safety risk as well as you improve your health. Fridge is one which is continuously on. Install the fridge week it is continuously on. And fridge cool heat ventilation. Fridge is almost pushed to the corner. At least for a 3-4 inch gap, minimum 4 inch. In the wall and the wall 4 inch gap or nearby there should be a window. So the fridge and the minimum spacing, ventilation spacing over 6 inch better. LPG cylinder is a potential threat. But as long as we use it properly, it is okay. So every day we are supposed to switch off the regulator. In fact, every time we are supposed to switch off the regulator. TV off, remote off, main off. You switch off the stove, gas stove burner off, but regulator off. At least whenever the cooking is finished, once in the day, morning cooking, afternoon cooking, another night cooking, regulator should be fully cut off. Next day morning, kitchen stove tell your people that they should keep the doors and windows open first. Kitchen door window open panni. ஒரு 5 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் அடுப்பு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா காத்தால எழுந்த உடனே பால் காய்ச்சணும், காஃபி போடணும் இல்லையா? நமக்கு எழுந்திருக்கும் போதே காஃபி ஃப்ளேவர் இருக்கணும் வீட்டில். நமக்கு முன்னால் அவங்க எழுந்து காஃபி போட்டு வைக்கணும், நம்ம எழுந்திருக்கணுன்னே காஃபி கொடுக்கணும். அவங்க அதனால் காத்தாலேருந்து இப்போல்லாம் நிறைய வீட்டில் எப்படின்னா பல் தேய்க்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி பாலை வச்சுருவாங்க. ஏன்னா அவங்க பல் தேய்ச்சி பாத்ரூம்லாம் போயிட்டு வரதுக்குள்ளே பால் ரெடி ஆகிடும். ஏன்னா டைம் கன்ஸ்டன்ட் இருக்குது. பட் ஆனால் சேஃப்டி இக்னோர் பண்ணிடுறோம். ஒருவேளை கேஸ் லீக் இருந்திருந்தால் மேபி அந்த டியூப் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஹோஸ், அதில் எங்கேயான ஒரு கிராக் இருந்து கேஸ் லீக் இருந்து இதெல்லாம் இருந்திருந்தால் தட் ஹேஸ் டு பி வென்டிலேட்டட். ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் ஜன்னல் திறந்து வச்சா போதும். ஸோ யூ ஹேவ் டு டெல் யுவர் பீப்புள் தட் கிச்சனில் மார்னிங் எழுந்தோடனே கிச்சனில் உள்ள லைட் போடக்கூடாது, எந்த எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் ஸ்விட்ச் ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணணும். ஜஸ்ட் கீப் த டோர் அண்ட் விண்டோ ஓப்பன் ஃபார் 5 மினிட்ஸ். அதுக்கப்புறம் மீதி எல்லாம் பண்ணலாம். அண்ட் ஸ்மெல், அந்த ஸ்மெல்லிங் கெப்பாசிட்டி சொல்லணும். எல்பிஜி ஸ்மெல் இருக்கான்னு ஸ்மெல் பண்ணணும். So simple things if we follow, the house will be quite safe. And putting multiple adapters, that is a danger we do. So systems are getting overloaded. AC is another thing which has got all the potential risk. It has got electric, it has got some gases. So AC should be properly maintained and it should be very limitedly used. முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் AC யூஸ் பண்ணுறது அவாய்ட் பண்ணணும். But when it is required, keep it at a low temperature and see that the AC compressor is cutting off. நல்ல கெப்பாசிட்டி உள்ளது வாங்கணும். ஒரு ரூமுக்கு 1.5 டன் வாங்கணும்னா 1.5 டன் வாங்கணும். இல்லை 1 டன் போட்டே மேனேஜ் பண்ணலாம். 1 டன் போட்டால் அந்த கம்ப்ரஸர் கட் ஆஃப் ஆகாது. It has to cool, it has to cut off. Again after 1 or 2 minutes the compressor has to work. அந்த சைக்கிள் நடக்கணும். Then only you will get a better cooling, you will get a very good life of the AC, but which we normally do. Normally we don't do that. And you see my friend what he is doing. The last photo, he is on the road, helmet podla, and he is also attending a phone call by doing this. Even though I ride very safely, because of these people we get disturbed. இப்போ நாம் அவனுக்கு சொல்லணும், அவனை போய் ஃபோன் பேச ஓரமானா அதுக்காக நான் திட்டிட்டு போகிறான். உன் வேலையை நீ பாரு, உன் வேலையை நீ பாருன்ட்டு போகிறான். நான் தான் என் வேலை தொழிலே இதுதான்னு சொன்னேன் அவனுக்கு. அண்ணா என் தொழிலே இதுதாங்க, உங்களை மாதிரி இவங்க ஆள் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறது தான். நீ வேணா ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் இல்லை உனக்கு இங்கேயே கிளாஸ் சேஃப்டி கிளாஸ் எடுத்துடுறேன் அப்படின்னு. ஓகே, we are almost at the end. Okay, and so it is National Safety Council of India is the apex body for safety. How we say Quality Council of India for quality. For safety, National Safety Council is the apex body. So it was started on this day, March 4. Okay, it is almost 50 years back. This year is the 54th anniversary. So every March 4th we start celebrating as a National Safety Day. Okay, so these are all done in industry. In fact, I saw even railway celebrating this. Railway used to celebrate this one, or badge எல்லாம் போட்டுப்பாங்க. Okay, but most of the time rail they don't follow any of these safety precautions. So in organizations they conduct a 1 week program, or sometimes even when I was in TVS the whole month will be celebrated. Safety quiz இருக்கும், safety posters, some safety games and all will be there. So ஏதோ ஒரு மெத்தடில் you try to bring awareness among your employees. Particularly let us try to follow few simple things, adapt safety, and let us bring the safety culture within our people, within our home. ஏன்னா இது எங்கேயுமே அகாடமிக்ஸில் வரலன்றது எனக்கு பெரிய ஒரு வருத்தம். இதை I am going to represent, I am going to even write to the education board to add safety related topics in the school. ஸ்கூலில் காலேஜிலேருந்து இந்த இப்போ நம்ம இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் சொல்லித்தர இந்த 5 இயர்ஸோ இந்த சேஃப்டியோ it has to be taught from the school days. So that safety culture, safety first என்ற அந்த மைண்ட் செட் வரணும். Okay, because just like that the driving license is given to people. ஸோ இந்தியாவில் டிரைவிங் லைசன்ஸ் வாங்கின யாரும் ஒரு ஃபாரின் கண்ட்ரியில் போய் ஃபஸ்ட் அட்டெம்ப்டில் டிரைவிங் லைசன்ஸ் வாங்கவே முடியாது. இத்தனைக்கு இங்கே வண்டி ஓட்டுறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். இங்கே ஓட்டிட்டிங்கன்னா யூ ஆர் an expert. பட் ப்ராப்ளம் இஸ் டிசிப்ளின்டாக வண்டி ஓட்டணுன்னா நம்மளால் ஓட்ட முடியாது. அங்கே கொஞ்சம் டிசிப்ளின்டாக டிராஃபிக் ரூல்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி, ஸ்பீட் லிமிட்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி ஹை ஸ்பீடில் போகணும், பட் கரெக்டாக போகணும். இங்கே நமக்கு அப்படி இல்லை, எங்கே கேப் கிடைக்குதோ அதில் பூந்து போகணும். ரெண்டு பஸ்ஸுக்கு நடுவில் கேப் இல்லைன்னு தெரிஞ்சால் கூட ஐ வில் புஷ் மை வெஹிக்கிள் இன்சைட் த கேப், ரெண்டு பக்கம் இடித்த பிறகு தான் ஐ வில் ஸ்லோ டவுன். ஓகே, இந்த கேப்பில் என்னால் போக முடியாது அப்படின்னு. ஸோ தட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஒரு ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட் பண்ணி வண்டி ஓட்டுறதுன்றதெல்லாம் இல்லைங்க. So what all you can do as a safety related activity inside your organization? Or safety pledge and conducting some regular training for the employees, conducting safety drills. Safety drill is mandatory. As per Inspector of Factories, mock drill to be conducted every 2 months. And most of the companies do it once in a year or once in 6 months. The Factories Act says every 2 months. Okay. And standard says என்னெல்லாம் potential emergency situation identify பண்ணுறீங்களோ for all these potential emergency situation you have to conduct a mock drill. பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ வருஷத்துக்கு 6 mock drill conduct பண்ணோம். 6 mock drill 1 or 2 is for fire, for another 4 mock drills you have to conduct some flooding or electric shock, working on height, explosion, gas leak. So ஒரு time ஒரு type of emergency situation you have to conduct a mock drill. Whereas I see companies, big companies doing safety mock drills every month. Monthly பண்ற companies கூட இருக்கு. Okay. So with this we are coming to an end, and maybe 5 minutes you have any questions, please ask me. Yeah.
In your experience, to what extent it gets properly captured? Because that is bring us to the next thing. To what extent in your experience that gets properly captured?
In companies where they have this safety practices like Toyota or I told, and anything happens, okay, immediately it is getting registered. Either the same employee, because whenever any safety hazard or any incident is happening, they are not punishing the employee. And they cannot escape because everything is recorded in the CCTV camera. So in my work area, if any near miss or anything happens, either I have to write or my senior or somebody will identify and record it. நான் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணேன்னா கூட CCTV கேமராவில் அது இருக்கும். எங்கேயோ யாரோ பார்த்துட்டு then they will question me why it is not recorded. Even by intentionally if I do something, playfully if I do something, and if some incident happens, and if I record I am appreciated, but if I don't record then I will be punished, I will be questioned. So that is how the culture is brought in. And always there are safety people and all the employees are trained in safety. So near miss will get registered.
And on the crane parameter you mentioned about the overuse of the cranes. Normally in your experience, it's to do with the operations taking a chance or the safety team compromising, or is that the management allows it?
Management. I always blame the management. Any system collapse, whether it is adapting safety or fires or ISO 9000 or anything, I will always blame the management. It is top down. Management notice வராமல் ஒன்று ரெண்டு எஸ்கேப் ஆகணும், that is different. But அது கூட உங்கள் சிஸ்டமில் எங்கேயோ கேப்சர் ஆகணும், then corrective action to be taken. Today you have got all sorts of, you have got a CCTV camera, you have got so many systems. Okay. So crane overloading and all is crane overloading, 4 people weight over at the border, not allowed. And my neighbor, one lady slipped in the steps. மாடியிலேருந்து போய் துணி எடுத்துட்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. She slipped. She has been living in the house for 20 years. Simple root cause என்ன அப்படின்னா துணி எடுத்துட்டு வரும்போது she brought everything, ஒரு கம்பைல் பண்ணாமல் அப்படியே her vision was blocked. When she reached the last step, ஒரு ஸ்டெப் இருக்குன்னு தெரியாமல் கால் வச்சிட்டாங்க. இன்னும் ஒரு ஸ்டெப்பை வச்சுட்டு she should have landed on the floor. அது இல்லாமல் வச்சுட்டாங்க. She fell down and there was a little bit of injury. Okay. எத்தனை போய் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்லாம் பண்ணியாச்சு. ரூட் காஸ் என்னன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சா அப்புறம் சொல்கிறாங்க கையில் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்தேன் ஃபுல்லாக அப்படியே எனக்கு வந்து விஷன் தெரியல அப்படி. The same thing happens in the industry.
The other one what you can add is the electrical lift, also a safety concern.
Yeah.
Because that is a very risky, many times people get stuck.
Yes, sir.
Something like that due to power failure or not having the ARD system working.
Yeah.
Or the sling sometimes get.
Even that has to be captured in the preventive maintenance. Good. I add it.
To maintain the industrial relation in respect of vendors. You are talking about the crane. So the people are having 150-ton metric ton crane, so I request 200. Then that vendor is not allowing me to procure 200-ton metric ton crane. So that I have to, due to circumstances of the environment of the Assam project, to finalize the contract for 200 metric tons of crane, where the local vendors is not allowing us to procure that. But I have to run the show of the drilling activities.
I'll tell you an example. There is a transformer industry in Chennai where we are doing some work. The transformer industry gets bigger transformer. The transformer body itself is almost 30 to 35 feet long. So you cannot operate single crane. Normally when the transformer is coming for service, it has to be unloaded with 2 cranes. So the transformer will weigh close to 150, 160 or even 200 tons. So they have put 125 ton crane, 2 cranes. In the end of crane and the end of crane. Two crane in the trailer length, they will unload it. Then they will open it and remove everything. Then it becomes small parts. There are few cases, the almost a 200 ton crane has been unloaded with single crane. And 2 crane put time. But the crane will stood. But how many times it will stand? So workman will have a thinking that my crane is capable of lifting 200 ton, whereas the crane capacity is 125 ton. The problem is when you lift 125 ton, the load is transferred on your columns, building or column, crane girder or columns. In the end of a crane, in the end of a crane. Column. In the side of 3-4 columns, the weight will get distributed. When you are lifting the crane with single crane, 200 ton, either 1 or 2 columns will get overloaded. So, the workmen will not think. Why we are asking him to support with 2 cranes? One is the object is very long. Secondly, it should be properly balanced. And the kind of load transferred on the columns as well as foundation. So the inniki first time but if he is doing this as a practice, at one day, fine day, something will collapse. Either the crane or the center girder will collapse, or ropes will go, or your columns will get weakened. The foundation area.
So this is like this of distributing the load.
Yes, the factory has been designed like this, but people don't follow. And these are all, it is not happening in seconds, no? That the loading and unloading takes 2 hours. In the safety person has to stand there. Management should ensure that manager or somebody is there. CCTV camera on the MD should not accept it. Punish the people, take some severe action, so that at least next time it is not happening. But this is happening in the factory regularly. And they claim, sir, one crane unga crane proper nalla vela seyudu. The appreciation kidiyadu. It is a shock they are giving to us. Right, sir? Will conclude?
Yes. Government of Tamil Nadu or in India, they are recognizing safety without accident. Safety awards they are giving. That also you can add, because it is a motivation for best company.
Okay.
Stand with no accident continuously. Even workmen are awarded.
Even in the industry we are monitoring. No, accident free number of days not track pannu.
Inspector of factories every year and award call பண்ணுவோம்.
Okay.
நிறைய கம்பெனி அப்ளை பண்றது இல்ல. ஆக்சிடென்ட் இல்லாம இருக்கும். நம்ம வர்க் பண்ணி கூட நாமினேட் பண்ணலாம். அவன் பண்ண நல்ல சேஃப்டி குட் ஆக்ட்.
We'll do that, sir.
நிறைய கம்பெனிக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது.
Good input. I'll add, sir.
So awards and recognition இது மாதிரி இந்தியாவில் கொடுக்குறாங்க, ஸ்டேட்ல கொடுக்குறாங்க, சேஃப்டி கவுன்சில்ல கொடுக்குறாங்க, கம்பெனிலேயே கொடுக்குறாங்க. கம்பெனிலேயே we are also recognized. அது அப்படியே நல்ல பெரிய மீட்டிங்ல பண்ணா நிறைய நியர் மிஸ் நாங்கலாம் அப்படி பண்ணோம். ஆதித்ய பிர்லா ஹைடெக்
Already safety training content there, sir. But it's a special kind of, so I have not added many things here.
இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. இந்த மாதிரி அவார்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு நிறைய. சின்ன ஸ்மால் MSME.
Good, sir. Good input. I'll do that. Thank you. You can conclude, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We come to the end of our program. As a formality, we would like to felicitate the speaker. I now request our NCSD chairman, Niile, to felicitate the speaker. Thank you. for our team. Yeah. Now I request our chapter governor, Mr. Vavaran sir, to felicitate the speaker with the memento, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think everyone accept நான் நினச்ச டாபிக் பார்த்தோன்னே கொஞ்சம் டல்லாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்ட்டு industry organization, many members from MMA. I'm not sure, we are at least 100 people. Let us, Azadas is the key. We are working with modern metal, but MMA team I think will get disappointed. But I think the way sir conducted is phenomenal. I think you can hear. I think lot of takeaways for our home safety.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very important factors which we all just like that அப்படியே skip பண்ணி போடுவோம். I think there are a lot of things which is amazing, sir, and we thank you very much for taking your time to share time and giving us rich knowledge about it. கண்டிப்பாக தெரியாது சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த கேஸ்கெட் அதுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து அவ்வளோ இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுக்குமான்னு தெரியாது. பட் அது நீங்கள் அந்த பாயிலன்னு சொன்னோன்னா கொஞ்சம் பயமாக தான் really. And I also thank all the members for taking time to come here and physically attend the program and encouraging us. Thank you once again, and we also expect you to encourage us for our upcoming programs. Thank you one and all. And dinner will be served here. Kindly give us about 5 minutes so that we can make arrangements here. Thank you very much.
Because on year-end last working day, and 1 hour 30 hours is the only day you have. I know how much of pressure you all will be carrying. So office muching traffic law you are spending. So it is really encouraging me. So let us hope that we will make it. Thank you for your active participation, sir. Thank you.